Hello and welcome to episode 11 of the Hello Plum podcast. My name is Carrie and I'm so glad that you're here. I am about a week and a half late in recording. I will get into why. But for now, I just want to say thanks if you're coming back and welcome if you are new. You can find me on social media as on Instagram, I'm Charlie's Girl 123, and my email for this channel is helloplum10@gmail.com. Those are probably the best ways to get a hold of me, but really the very best way is just to leave a comment here. And I do answer all of them. I know I had a couple that I was a little late in responding to, really just because this last week has been challenging for my family. And I know we all have stuff, so I'm not going to get into it a whole bunch, but I was ill and my voice is still a little funny off and on, so bear with me. I was sick, and then life threw my family a curveball. And I just want to take a second and say that if you watched my last episode, I talked about joy journaling. And I'll just say that after I said that, I have been given many opportunities in the past week to not focus on the challenge and focus on the joyful moments. And while some of our circumstance has been difficult, focusing on what's good and, the positive, right? Focusing on those things really does make a difference. And so if there is a silver lining in that challenge, it's that I am being taught how to maintain my joy even when things are challenging. So if any of you out there are having a heck of a time and life is a little bit rough right now, I just want to encourage you to keep going. Look for those happy moments. Sometimes we got to take life 1 second at a time and one foot in front of the other. And I just want you to know that you can do it, and I'm cheering for you. So all that just to say, that is why I didn't record, and I needed to just prioritize my family, my health, and I'm back. I don't have as much to show because I wasn't even feeling well enough, honestly, to read. I was down and out. So I'm going to show you what I do have. I have some cross stitch that I've been working on. I do have a knitting finish, and I will just do a quick update, but I do hope that you're all doing well. And again, thank you for being here. If you do like the content that I put out, please give me a like. It helps my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, and you can hit that bell notification so that you don't miss any upcoming content. I will say that the next couple months could be a little unpredictable schedule-wise. I'm really going to try to do the once a week thing. That being said, in the line of work that I'm in, this is a very busy time of year, and schedule permitting, I will do it as often as I can because I really do enjoy this. So let's get on to what I have been working on. For the first week, and I don't even know it, I really don't know, I didn't even touch my treasure hunt bookshelf. It just sat next to my chair. But I did say last time that I was curious about the clarity of the detail that would come out in a smaller count fabric and doing the stitching 1/1. And so I decided to put my focus on one of the other Heaven and Earth designs that I've been working on, and that one is Treasure Hunt, I'm so used to talking about that one. It's Village Bookstore. It's artwork by Randall Spangler, and like I said, Heaven and Earth design. And the other ones that I'm working on, I do have some other ones that are, I'm working on the same size fabric as this one, but I just really wanted to work on one where I was maybe going to be able to see a little bit more, because I'm kind of all up in the, the backgrounds on all of them. And this was kind of the best choice, but I did enjoy working on it. So this one I'm working on 25 count fabric. I'm doing 1/1 as opposed to the Treasure Hunt bookshelf where it's 28 count. And, or no, I'm sorry, 18 count. And I am doing it 2/2 full cross. So this is 1/1 full cross. And I think you are going to be able to see the detail a little bit better. I am not starting my Treasure Hunt bookshelf over again because holy moly, that would just be, no, I would never do that. But I am enjoying this. However, I am a person who sometimes I work in hand without a hoop, but I'm finding that with the Heaven and Earth designs, just because of their scope, like they're so large, that I tend to like to park. And I find parking easier at this point if I am not working in hand. So I did put this in a hoop and I am enjoying it. But when I work 2/2, I find it easier to do a pin stitch and end my thread on the front. And I have been challenged by that with the 1/1. So what I've been doing is, first of all, you can see, I do feel like the detail is going to be better. This is just some of the sky and a little bit of the tree starting to show up. It's not coming through super clear. It's very cloudy today and rainy, which makes for a wonderful, cozy fall day. That being said, the lighting's a little challenging today. So I do feel like you can see those details really nicely though. But what I've been doing is just bringing it across a full block of 10, a full grid square, and then just kind of stitching it in on an angle so that I can see that it is the end, and then leaving this little tail. And I think as I work across that 10 by 10 square, then I'll unpick this and just use my, I have one of those snag nabbit tools to drag the thread to the back side, and I'll just stitch it in, or I can just cut it off on the front side. I'm hoping that's going to be secure enough. But if any of you have suggestions for how you do that without having to constantly flip your work, because I use it's a Kay's Creations Z lap stand, I think is what it was called. I got it years ago and I love it. And you can flip. However, some of my projects are that Treasure Hunt bookshelf for sure is just so big and cumbersome, and I don't like to be flipping that. So here it is. And I do like the detailing in that sky. So I think from now on, if I can get past my, little bit of annoyance here, which, I mean, it really isn't that big a deal. But if I can get past that, I think I might from now on get the higher count fabrics and just do 1/1 full cross, because it does make for lovely. And it's a lighter, there's not as much bulk. So granted, this is not a super high confetti area, so there's not a lot of threads in there. But yeah, we'll see. And the needle minders I have on here, I have no idea where I got this hoop. I think I probably got it handed down to me from somebody who's a stitcher. But this needle minder I absolutely love. This I got off of 123 Stitch, but it's actually a Lori Holt needle minder, and it's enamel, and it's so nice and strong, and I love it because I don't have it on here right now because it's next to my chair, but it holds my scissors, which is really, for me, important. I like having my scissors up on here as well as my needles. So this one I've got for my scissors, and then this one I got at an LNS. It was in Mount Horeb, Wisconsin. I think it's called Stitchery Witchery. I think Stitchery Witchery, I think is what it's called. And the lady there was so lovely. But I got it a couple years ago. My daughter and I went for just a shopping trip. She doesn't cross stitch, but she does love her mama. And I think we went maybe for my birthday. That could be it. And she treated me to some really lovely things. So this is actually, I believe it's supposed to be turned. Now that I look at it, it's a piece of fruit. Isn't it sweet? And it is so strong. Oh my gosh. That magnet on there is no joke. So this could just as easily hold my scissors, but I use it for my needles. And I'm realizing right now that I actually have that Snag Nabbit tool. So you can see that it has, you know, an end that is sharp, which is nice if you need to like lift a stitch up. But it has this textured end, and that, yeah, there it is. That textured end is really nice because you can pull it through and it'll pull any, you know, stitches that went wonky. I think it's actually a knitter's tool for grabbing, you know, snagged threads to the back side, but I don't use it for my knitting. I use it only for my stitching, and I love it. It was only a couple dollars. I think I also got that on 1 2 3 Stitch. So that's really it for that one. The other one that really did keep my focus, and I think it's because I felt like I was making little accomplishments in the midst of really utter chaos. This past week and a half has been bonkers. So, this made me feel like I was having mini victories. And it was really, really good for the soul. So I did work again on Strawberry Fields Forever. This is a Blackbird design. It's wonderful, as is everything. I don't think I've ever seen a Blackbird design I don't like. And I tend to scoop them up when I see them available, if I can, because I know they can become very difficult to get. They can kind of become unicorns of a kind. So I did work on that one, and I'm really enjoying it. I am doing this on 32 count as Weigart. This is Pear Gray is the color, and it is a joy. And again, that green is not going to show up. This, well, I guess it is okay. This green is a little bit more of a, like a bright celery color. And it is just, it's adorable. It's absolutely adorable. And I have really enjoyed it. So what I did, oh, excuse me, itchy. I have cats, and sometimes they happen to have hair that lands on my face. Bear with me. Yeah, in fact, there's one of them now. You may have heard him meow. I did add to the branch here, and I added to the branch here. I completed this entire basket of berries, and I also did do this berry here. Boy, I wish that would come in nicer with the colors, but we're going to take what we can get right now and call it a win. But it really has been nice. And I mentioned last time that I wasn't so sure how I felt about this blue in the bird. But you know what? I actually think I like it. Now that I've got more of it stitched, I do think I think I like it. I think it complements that gray really nicely in this urn. And yeah, I'm just going to keep on keeping on with that. I like I said, 32 count Pear Gray. I am doing 2/2, and it is a linen. I am doing some of the called for, but they did have a DMC equivalent list in there, and so the ones I didn't have on hand or were out of stock, I just decided I would do the DMCs for, and I'm happy with that. I think it's going to be good. So I think this one I may continue to work on this week. We'll see how the mood strikes and what time allows. I'm not completely sure, how much time I'm even going to have to give to these things, but I really do enjoy it. And this is surging thread on there. This little needle minder is just a teeny tiny little sheep that I love, because in my heart I'm also a knitter, and well, who doesn't love a sheep, right? So he's adorable and holds my needle there and makes me smile. So that is actually all I have for cross stitch. Like I said, it was a very weird week, and I didn't really get as much done as I would have liked to. Excuse me while I take a drink. Oh, there's nothing better than warm coffee, at least in my opinion. All right, I need to figure out where I'm going to go with some of this stuff. Okay, so that's really all I have with cross stitch for this week. Like I said, I honestly don't know what I'm going to work on. It depends, honestly. A lot of it is how clear my head is. Like, what can I focus on? Sometimes when there's too much in my head, I really just can't, I can't do the complicated stuff. I know some people might find that that helps them. And there are times when that does help me because it really is so focused. I just can't pull it together enough to do that right now. So I am going to give myself grace and allow myself to be surprised this week and see, see what the week holds and what I feel like, and do that. I have some knitting to show now, and I think I'm going to show you my works in progress first and do the finish at the end. I had hoped that I was going to get a little farther. Literally, it's pitiful that I didn't get to my goal with this, but I think I just got sidetracked by the fact that it was going to require me to count, which I know sounds so pitiful. That being said, again, patience, grace, giving myself permission to just not for a second was what I needed. So I did that. This is a Tin Can Knits pattern. It is called Flax Sock. I believe it used to be called Flax Light. And that pattern is a sweater I've knit 3 times. I think I had one of them on last episode. I think it was last episode. And I love it. It fits me wonderfully. This one I'm doing a larger size. I want it to have a little bit more drape. But I had hoped that I was going to reach the point where I could separate for the sleeves. I am literally so sad, half a round from being able to do that. It's silly. So this week, God willing, I am going to get to a place where I am going to have the headspace to count and get this separated for the sleeves. I am knitting this on, these are size 4 Knit Picks needles. They're called 4 square, and they're wonderful. They actually don't have, I know you guys aren't going to be able to see them because they're too small, but they don't have a, well, maybe you can see a little bit there. They don't have rounded edges. They're actually squared off. And I was just curious to see how I would feel knitting with that. And I enjoy these needles so much. Number one, they're wood, and I do enjoy a wood needle. I enjoy metal needles also, but I think especially during the colder months and for larger projects, I like a wood needle. They're warm in the hand, things don't slip. And when you've got something that's a little heavier, sometimes those things can slip off, right? And so, yeah, I really enjoy these. I am using Knit Picks palette. This is the color Mineral Heather. And it's like this lovely purpley gray with like little flecks of, you can't really see it, I guess, but there's like a maroonish undertone or thread that runs throughout, and it just gives this so much depth. So Not that you can see, because I didn't actually separate, but you can see there are the raglan increases for the arms. And yeah, half around. And it's time to separate. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I just couldn't. And so I have high hopes for that this week. I think it'll be good for, yeah, I hope I can do it. So there's that. I also have been working on, I showed these last week as well. These are also a Knit Picks yarn. The line is called Static. Oop, I'm tangled. And it is this lovely, sorry. Oh my goodness, what happened in my bag here? There we go. It's this lovely palette of blues. And it's really interesting how it knits up. It does have 3 different patterned sections. It's a self-patterning yarn. It is, I believe, called Static because there's a certain section in here, and I'll show it to you. It does look like TV static. So all of the yarns, at least in the collection that I saw, were named after TV shows. And I had to have this because this one is called Cabot Cove. It is themed with after Murder, She Wrote, which is a show that I absolutely love, never get tired of watching. Even it doesn't matter how many times I've seen the episode, and I've seen them. I just really like it. So Cabot Cove is a wonderful little town surrounded by water, and so the blue theme here is because of the water. This is the area here that I believe is, gives it its static name. But they're knitting up so nicely. The blue is, it's coming out fairly true. It is a little bit warmer than this. A little deeper, I guess is a better word, than this in true, life. But it is actually, it's really a joy to knit, and it's fun to watch those patterns come. And I find it addicting to knit on because I keep thinking, oh, I'll just finish this section. Then the next one starts and I'm like, oh, I'll just finish this section. So I am knitting this on, again, Knit Picks. These are a size 0, 24-inch circular needles. I'm doing 2 circulars at a time for this one. This is a 64 stitch sock, and there is no pattern. I know what fits my foot. So this is a 64 stitch sock. I usually do about 50 or, well, this is 20 rounds for the cuff. Knit to purl 2, excuse me. And then I'll do about 50 or 60 rounds for the leg. I probably will do markers. Her name is Kayla Litton, and she is the crazy sock lady, and she is amazing. But she does this thing where she uses stitch markers all the way down her sock, and I a lot of times follow that as well. I just didn't have them in this bag. What it does is it helps you when you do your second sock. So you can, every 10 rounds I place a marker like she does. And then when you're knitting that second sock, you have a count for exactly how long you want your sock to be. I like a 64 stitch leg. However, when I get done with the heel, I may decrease down to 60 stitches because I like a tighter foot. Then I do the leg, and yeah, we'll see. But I'll knit till I feel like I want to put the heel on, and then I'll do that and make the foot. Yeah, time will tell what that looks like. So I am enjoying that very, very much. The bag that I am knitting this in is actually one that I made. It was very early. It was practice. It has the square bottom. I made this out of bed sheets or pillowcases from when my boys were small. And it is one of my favorite project bags. I don't even think I used a pattern. I think I just I traced a shape out on a cardboard box and used that as a template. Now that I think about it, because I thought, boy, this might not turn out, but it did. And I've been lugging it around ever since. So yeah, that's what that's in. Um, I don't have anything else to show you that is a work in progress for knitting, but I do have a finish and I'm very excited. Yay! My drippity drop socks are done. And I am thrilled with them. I am just over the moon. They turned out so, let me back up. They turned out so lovely and they fit like a dream. I learned new techniques with this. This is a square heel and I had done a rounded toe before, but this one in particular is really comfortable. I don't usually love a rounded toe. I prefer more of a square. This is really comfortable. And the texture on these is just dreamy. Really, really, really enjoyed these. So I will have yet another pair that I can wear this winter and yeah, enjoying them. So again, Drippity Drop Socks is the name of the pattern. It's Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. Everything she makes, or you know, all her patterns that I've tried have been incredible. And the textures are so lovely because they look so much more complicated than they are. It's techniques I've never seen before, but not complicated. And I really enjoy her for that. She's very, everything is very detailed and very neat, and her instructions are super clear. So, loved making those. This is what I have left of the yarn. I did make those on a size 0 Chalgu, 32-inch red lace. Magic loop was what I did for those. And again, you know, just follow the pattern. I think it was the medium size that I made. And this yarn is Yarn Bee, which is Hobby Lobby's brand. And this colorway is called Stonework. And it's very pretty. And I do have a considerable amount left, considering that I made a whole pair of socks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a square of this into this blanket. And I don't know if I've ever shown this one on here or not. This is called the Coziest Memory blanket. It's by Kemper Ray. And I am doing it totally according to the pattern, except I am using a size 0. I think she calls for a size 1. But it is basically squares of all things past. And it really is a lovely thing to be able to look at some of these things and go, oh my gosh, I remember working on, you know, working on this, or yeah, it is really a lovely thing. But I put it away for a long time, and I'm gonna see if I can. It's too big to get all of it in here. So I am working diagonally on this, and I'm gonna put another square in here. So this one is, I think, my favorite. I think it's like chocolate cherries or something. It's a Madeline Tosh, and it is just this lovely dusty rosy pink with brown flecks, and I just, oh, it makes me want chocolate covered strawberries. So yeah, lots of fun stuff in there. So I am gonna add a square to that, and then if I feel like adding more, I will. Lord knows I got enough scraps laying around. But that's really all I have for this week, and I am just going to keep trying to show up here about once a week for an update, and this is a good mental break for me. I would have done it in the midst of chaos this past week had I not been so sick, but that was that knocked my feet out from under me. That was rough. But I am doing much better now, and just going to keep doing my best to make sure that I'm crafting at least a little bit, because it really does bring me such joy. So I hope you all have the best upcoming week. I hope you are enjoying, whatever it is that you're up to making. I would love to hear what you are doing, and please say hello in the comments. Thanks again for joining me, and until next time, bye-bye.